first thing I remember is the hiss of a gunshot hitting a hydraulic lift that was holding up some speakers that Trump uses, obviously to project his voice all the way to the thousands of people who were at the rally today. And then Trump was tackled. I saw him throw a fist pump up into the air, and his supporters did too. But at that point, my colleagues and I had kind of pushed each other to the ground. I've never been in a situation where there's been active gunshots within, 200, 300 yards of me. I've been lucky enough that hasn't happened, and unfortunately it did today. And I'll end there for now.
And it's really a moment that a lot of people were just watching, and we see this and we just wonder how something like this can happen in the country where we're supposed to be able to have these types of things happen, peaceful events where people are able to hear different perspectives, and then have something so chaotic happen. I mean, what was going through your mind knowing that this was happening in the United States of America?
I think it's important to remember, just like you said, that these Trump rallies are almost always peaceful. They're almost lately, and there's a familial vibe to them, where often people are bringing their families, their kids, their friends, grandparents, grandkids to these events to see Donald Trump. He's an attraction, especially in a place like Butler, Pennsylvania. I know Donald Trump's. I cover him for a living, and he goes to cities all the time, but he also goes out to the country often. And Butler, they don't necessarily get to see Donald Trump often, so there was a sense of excitement, and it's a real shame that was ruined tonight by someone who decided to try and kill him. It's a disappointment to me because I feel safe at these events, and I always tend to have pretty good conversations with Trump supporters, even if they can be adversarial at times. I will tell you, I spoke to 7 or 8 people on my way into the rally today with my camera crew, and I had security with me, but I didn't need it. People were nice. We had a really nice conversation. I got interesting thoughts from all of them about the state of the country. But it shocks you to your core. But I think the thing to remember, Jaden, is as a journalist, when that happens, you make sure you're not hit. You make sure your coworkers aren't hit. You make sure your colleagues aren't hit. And you go do your job. And you interview people. You try to report back to your team as best you can. And, you take it 1 minute at a time, because it's just something that the whole country and the whole world is watching right now.
For sure, and that's something I've seen a lot on social media right now, is a lot of reporters that were there with a few other people, and just to see that happening, what's that camaraderie like for people that haven't covered political events, that wouldn't know that even though everyone's from a different outlet, there still is that sense of we care about each other?
Oh, of course. I know, and I can only speak for myself here, but, the team that I covered, Donald Trump with, across every political spectrum, the right-wing broadcasters, the left-wing broadcasters, the mainstream networks that are there at every rally, the reporters that I work with, the photographers that were there who were in the pit even closer than the people in the front row today, they all saw something life-changing. And it's in that moment that the relationships are tested. It's in that moment where we're making sure that we're all okay. And, these are some of my best friends that I've made because you have no choice but to spend a lot of time with them. There's a lot of waiting around at political events. A lot of people don't know that, too. I was at the rally today at 10:30. So there was a lot of time, 7+ hours that went by before Trump even took the stage.
Jake, I appreciate you being able to join me because, again, I know it's been a long day for you and for a lot of those other reporters that have been out there.
Of course, man.
Thank you. And you have a great night and hopefully a safe night as well.